God, if you existed, you'd stop this. He screamed it at the sky, shaking his fist in the hospital parking lot. His daughter's cancer had spread. The bills hit $147,000. His wife left yesterday. He dropped to his knees, voice breaking. I hate you. I curse you. Lightning didn't strike. The world stayed silent. He drove home, numb, and swallowed a bottle of pills. He woke up at 6:47 a.m., not in his bed, but on his couch. The pill bottle was full, untouched. A post-it on his fridge read, Go TO 1403 Maple. Ask for Dr. Chun. In his handwriting, but he didn't remember writing it. His phone buzzed. One voicemail from a number he didn't recognize. A woman's voice. Calm. Your appointment is at 9. Don't be late. And bring the red folder from your attic. He didn't have a red folder in his attic. In the attic, behind his daughter's old crib, he found it. A folder labeled Emma's Cure. Do not open until needed. Inside, a clinical trial application dated 3 years ago. He'd filled it out, then lost hope and hid it. The trial was for a new gene therapy for her exact cancer. The deadline to apply? Today, 9 a.m. His hands shook. He'd cursed God at midnight. This folder had been sitting in his attic for 3 years. At 1403 Maple, a medical office he'd never seen, Dr. Chin took the folder. We've been waiting for this. Your application was flagged 3 years ago. We called yesterday. Left 3 voicemails. He checked his phone. No missed calls. Nothing. Dr. Chin smiled. Check your block numbers. He did. There they were. 3 calls from unknown. He'd blocked them a year ago after a telemarketer harassed him. Emma can start today, Dr. Chin said. Asterisk, but there's a catch. The trial costs $147,000. Exactly what your bills show. Your insurance was denied yesterday, but she slid a check across the desk for $147,000 from an anonymous donor, dated yesterday. He stared at the signature. A name he knew. His wife's maiden name. A name she hadn't used in years. He called her. She answered on the first ring. I heard you last night, she whispered. I was outside the hospital. I heard you curse him. I heard you break. And I realized I'd broken too. I left, but I never stopped checking her portal. When I saw the trial, I sold everything. The house, my car, my engagement ring. Silence. I wasn't answering your calls because I was ashamed. But when you cursed God, I thought maybe you're finally ready to accept help from the person you blamed him through. Emma started treatment that afternoon. By evening, her fever broke. For the first time in months, she asked for ice cream. He sat by her bed, holding the red folder, the check, the post-it he'd written in a blackout rage. He'd cursed God at midnight. By sunrise, every door he'd slammed shut 3 years ago had been reopened, not by a miracle, but by his own voice finally being loud enough to hear. 3 months later, Emma was in remission. He found his wife in the hospital chapel. She was praying. He didn't curse. He sat beside her. I thought he wasn't listening, he said. She looked at him. He wasn't. You were. You wrote that note to yourself. You filled out that trial app. You found the folder. God didn't save Emma. You did. You just needed to get angry enough to stop waiting for a quiet sign and start demanding a loud one. He stared at the altar, at the cross, at the space where he'd expected lightning. There was none, but there was a post-it on the pew. In his handwriting, the miracle isn't that he heard your curse. It's that you finally heard yourself. He'd written it this morning. He didn't remember writing it. He walked out of the chapel and into the hallway. A nurse stopped him. Sir, you forgot this. She handed him a quarter. The same quarter he'd thrown at the hospital vending machine last night when it ate his money. He'd cursed it too. On the quarter, etched in marker, keep cursing. It means you still believe something's listening. He'd etched it 5 minutes ago. He didn't remember. He kept the quarter in his pocket. Every time he wanted to scream at the sky, he'd rub it. 1 year later, Emma was cancer-free. His wife moved back in. They started a foundation, the Curse Fund, for parents who've lost their voice. The first donation? $147,000 from an anonymous donor. The same amount. The note, cursed God. He sent me back to myself. He stood at the fundraiser, telling this story. A man in the back raised his hand. What if I'd never cursed him? He held up the quarter. Then you'd still be whispering. And whisperers don't get answers. The man walked up, trembling, and took the quarter. My daughter was diagnosed yesterday. I was afraid to be angry. He smiled. Be angry. Be loud. The miracle isn't in the quiet. It's in the volume. He drove home that night. Emma asleep in the back seat. The quarter sat on the dashboard. He didn't need to curse anymore, but he kept it because sometimes the only way to hear God is to scream loud enough to hear yourself echo back. Drop in fire if you've ever had to lose your voice to finally be heard.